A shadow on the hill, the mansion stood alone, a relic of forgotten grandeur now decaying. Vines like skeletal fingers gripped its crumbling facade. Windows like vacant eyes stared out blindly. It was a place of shadows, a place of whispers. Locals spoke of a curse, a darkness that clung to the manor. No one dared to go near, except of course for the curious, the foolish, or the brave. Tonight it was the curious, a group of friends, out to prove the legends wrong. They saw only a challenge in the decaying walls, an opportunity to tempt fate.
This is insane. Let's just turn back.
Don't be such a scaredy cat. It's just an old house.
They were 5 friends: Jake, the skeptic; Emily, the daredevil; Ben, the joker; Chloe, the quiet one; and Ryan, the leader. Armed with flashlights and youthful bravado, they stepped onto the overgrown path. The air grew cold, heavier, as if an unseen presence watched their every move. The front door creaked open with a groan, like a sigh from the grave. Inside, dust swirled in the stale air, thick with the scent of decay. Cobwebs draped everything, shimmering like ghostly shrouds in the beam of their flashlights. The mansion seemed to hold its breath, waiting. The friends fanned out, their laughter echoing strangely in the silence. They explored dusty rooms, their footsteps loud on the rotting floorboards. Each room was a portrait of decay furniture draped in white sheets, paintings askew on the walls, mirrors reflecting nothing but darkness. Then the noises began. A soft whisper here, a disembodied laugh there. The floorboards creaked when no one was near. Chloe swore she saw a figure flit past the doorway, but when they turned, there was nothing there. Fear began to creep in, a cold hand gripping their hearts.
Guys, this isn't funny anymore.
The laughter had died down, replaced by a nervous tension. They stumbled upon a room at the end of a hallway. Its door, unlike the others, was slightly ajar. A pale light, like moonlight, spilled out. Drawn by an unseen force, they entered. The room was surprisingly well kept. A fire crackled in the hearth, casting flickering shadows on the walls. A single portrait hung above the fireplace, a man with piercing blue eyes that seemed to follow their every move. But the strangest thing was the emptiness. There was no easel beneath the portrait, just a blank space on the wall. As they watched, the fire in the hearth flickered again, and the man in the portrait seemed to turn his head, his empty gaze fixing on them one by one. A cold dread washed over them. This room, this portrait felt different. It wasn't just decay and dust here, it was something more, something sinister. Panic surged through the group. They turned to flee, but the door slammed shut with a resounding boom. They rattled the handle, but it wouldn't budge. The room had become a cage. The temperature plummeted, and the air grew heavy, difficult to breathe.
We're trapped!
Emily cried out, her voice high with panic. The portrait seemed to leer down at them, the man's eyes burning with a malevolent light. The shadows in the room danced more violently, twisting and contorting into grotesque shapes. Suddenly the fire roared to life, consuming the portrait in flames. A blood-curdling scream echoed through the room, seeming to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The friends huddled together, their eyes wide with terror, as the unseen entity made its presence known. The next morning the sun rose on an empty mansion. The group of friends was gone, vanished without a trace. The only evidence of their presence was the open front door, creaking mournfully in the wind. The mansion stood silent once more, its secrets kept safe within its decaying walls. The curse lived on. Some say the mansion waits patiently for its next victims, for those foolish enough to ignore the warnings, for those who dare to disturb the darkness within. Are you brave enough to face the unknown? Share your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe for more tales of terror.